Hello everyone, I was not ready for this. A Pakistani woman getting married to her uncle at age 15, then getting divorced at age 18 because of abuse, and then at age 18 getting remarried to another Pakistani boy 10 years older than her, getting controlled and emotionally abused by her in-laws, having children from that husband, and getting transformed into this wholesome, loving mother in law herself. Indian, Pakistanis, and Bangladeshis, we know what in laws mean in our culture. Today I'm going to react to a TikTok channel that is created by a daughter-in-law and her mother-in-law, and they share this beautiful relationship together, and they are sharing this message, what it is like to heal a generational trauma. And honestly, watching it give me chills.
Mom, what is some advice you want to give to Pakistani mother-in-laws?
Ladies, stop digging in the damn trash can trying to figure out what your daughter ate. Stop throwing that clean laundry in the laundry room so she has shit to fold. Stop acting like you have a headache as soon as your son walks in.
Oh my gosh, this is so common. And most Desi people, especially Pakistani people, know that a lot of time, majority of the families in Pakistan live in joint family system. It's very typical in Pakistani families when the son comes home, first place he must go to is to her mother's room to say hi, to ask her how she's doing. And a lot of time mother-in-laws pretend that they are sick, they are having headache or things like that, so the son end up spending longer time with her. But I didn't even know this happens where she's saying that the mother-in-law will throw clean laundry in the laundry basket, so she has to do more work. Scary. And I just love the dynamics over here, how they are so together. She is braiding her hair just like how a mom and daughter is, and a lot of daughter-in-laws want this kind of connection with their mother-in-laws, because in Pakistan girls are married late teens or early 20s, like definitely before 25, and they go to a completely new family, leaving their family. They're so young, they need love. They need a lot of love and support and guidance, and they don't get any of it. What they get is control, emotional abuse, a lot of time physical abuse. Things can be so bad that a lot of time daughter-in-laws are even killed. And it's a very popular news headline that a girl died after the stove blew up, and everyone know that the in-laws killed her.
Mom, how would you feel if one of your kids got into a relationship or married to someone white, black, Hispanic, Asian,
Blue,
whatever race?
purple, green, brown.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
And would you want them to convert to Islam?
I couldn't force them, but if they wanted to, yes, that would be nice. But if they didn't want to, it's okay.
And how would you feel about them living together before they got married?
They can live together if they want. It's not a problem. Better do it in public than doing it under the table and not telling your parents, right?
Very true.
A lot of them do that, and they don't tell their parents. So I'd rather know and be happy.
I really like this advice, and she reminded me so much of myself, because I have exactly the same attitude that if my kids are telling me anything, that I'm not going to react with shock, because then they are going to stop telling me something. And a lot of parents think that since their kids are not telling them things, they are living their life exactly how their parents want them to live. And this is not true. So many of Muslim kids here in America are living a double life. They cannot tell their parents There are lavender marriages in which a boy marry a girl and they both have an understanding that it's a completely platonic marriage just for the world. Both of them agree on that. There's no manipulation going on. And then they have their own boyfriends and girlfriends. Usually it happens in gay couples when both boy and girl are gay. And they just keep their parents happy, their culture happy, while they also make themselves happy. So it is really important for us Pakistanis living in West or living anywhere to understand that our kids have their own life. They have their own journey. Please stop forcing your desires onto them. Stop forcing them to be something they are not. Yes, as a Muslim parent, we want them to live a very good Muslim life. And it's really possible if you don't traumatize them by religion or culture, they will come back. I am the proof of it. I left Islam and I came back because I did not have any religious trauma from my family. I left Islam, but the roots were there and I came back in a much stronger way. So you forcing your kids to be something they are not is only going to do one thing. They will stop telling you what they are doing. Do you want that kind of disconnection with your kids? No one wants that. So that's what she's saying, that even though she wants them to pick Muslim partners, but if they decide to, all you can do is be happy for them. I will, however, do one thing. If I see my kids are picking a partner that I just don't think is right for them, I'm going to very clearly tell them what do I think. But I will say it is your life, but I have to tell you my opinion. And my kids trust me so much that I know if I tell them that, it will create a very big doubt in their mind and they will end up not marrying that person. I know that from my kids, how they look up to me. So this is the type of relationship you have to build with your kids. But still, I'm never going to force them, but I'm not going to just be happy with everything they're doing. If they're doing something that I don't approve of, I will tell them my advice. Because we are here for guidance as parents. We are not here to control them. And I always decided how she is the type of mother-in-law. That's what I always felt, that when I will be in that position that I am a mother-in-law, I will give her so much love, because she's not even my daughter. My daughter knows me very well, but my daughter-in-law is not going to understand me. I have to give her a lot of love and support for that trust to build.
I was to, end up having a kid and I come home, would you take care of me or what?
Of course I'd take care of you. Even if you're not living in my house, I would take care of you and your kid. That's what we're supposed to do. When you come home from having a kid from the hospital, you need extra help. When I came home, I remember when I had my son, I came home from the hospital and there's all kinds of family there visiting, and I went straight into the kitchen with everybody else home, and I had to make food for my husband and his drivers. Nobody helped me. I never got any help from anybody. No mother-in-law, no sister-in-laws, nothing. I did everything myself. And I will never forget coming home straight from the hospital and walking straight into that kitchen and cooking food for...
It's a very sad situation she went through. My mother-in-law was not one of the best either, but at least she was really nice to me when I had my son. She came, I still remember when I came home, she made me breakfast. And I was so thankful for that someone bring me breakfast, because even now I'm like, tears are coming in my eyes. So all the women who have been mothers understand what a vulnerable position they are in when they just give birth. And any kindness goes such a long way. So I don't understand how a woman can be like this. How can she be that cruel? But it can be explained psychologically, because when a person is abused, they either identify themselves with the aggressor or they identify themselves with the victim. So a lot of time these mother-in-laws just repeat the same cycle of trauma that they've been through, the way they are treated, and they treat their daughter-in-laws the same way, because then they are in power and control. But how she identify herself with a victim, and I identify myself with a victim too, so we understand how we felt and how our daughter-in-law will be feeling, so we have to be kind and nice to them.
Okay, so being 15 and married is very weird. So you went to school during the day, then you came home, and then you did what? Like, what did you do?
He was a janitor. He worked at night. So I came home from school and he would have me go with him to work overnight. I would go to work with him at night, come home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and sleep for a couple hours, and then I went to school. That's what I did when I came at home, when I came home. I usually did my homework at school. If there was any kind of homework, I would try to finish it at school, knowing at home, once I went home, I wasn't going to have any time. So that's what I did. I slept for a few hours. I didn't get my sleep. After I'd come home from work with him, I would go to school the next morning.
Girls still in Pakistan get married really young when they are very innocent and immature. A lot of time it is arranged marriage, and when they go to their in-laws house, because usually they live with their in-laws, it's a big house with brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mother-in-law and father-in-law, and they all gang up against that young innocent girl, and life become absolute hell for her. This is a very typical life story of a girl in Pakistan. A lot of Pakistanis may get mad at me, but this is the reality, and we don't have to normalize it. If we don't speak up about it, things will never get better. It's very important for us as a culture to identify the problem, to become aware of a problem, and then do something about it. Don't normalize the problem. Don't push the problem under the rug. This is a big problem, how controlling, how emotionally abusive, and sometimes physically and verbally abusive the in-laws are, and how controlling and toxic our parents are. And these things have to be talked about.
How was it being married so young?
Well, it wasn't fun. Having all these responsibilities at a very young age, all of a sudden you're cooking and cleaning and listening to the master, and it wasn't fun, and it wasn't something that I would have done if I had a choice.
What is the age difference between you and your husband?
About 10 years.
Do you feel that there was anything you gave up on, like after getting married? Like, what dreams did you give up on?
Yes, I gave up on my education. I should have gone to college right out of high school. So when I graduated from high school, I was already getting ready to get married the second time. I didn't get a chance to go out and go to school and enjoy my life with.
And unfortunately, this is a life of a lot of Pakistani girls in Pakistan. They don't have teen years, late teen years, they don't have their 20s. They immediately become this daughter-in-law, wife, mother in their very young ages. And it's okay if they get love and support, but they don't. They don't get any love and support. The whole family gang up against them, and it's very normalized. And they just grow up in an instant. I remember I was like 23 with a child, and a 25-year-old girl called me auntie just because I was married and I have a son. These things are so common. And it was here in a Pakistani family in America. I still remember my mom giving me an advice, and it just stick in my mind because it did not make sense at that time, but then it makes sense now. When I was getting married, my mom told me that marriage is not about love. It's just something very different. You don't love your husband, it's something very different. And I was a young girl, I wanted to love my husband. I was living in that fairy tale world. And after the marriage, this advice made complete sense to me, that Pakistani marriages are never about love. But it's okay, I'm okay when a marriage is not about love, but it should always be about care, compassion, mercy, understanding, kindness, and respect. I can speak on and on this topic. I can make like 10 videos on this topic. Please let me know if you want to know more about it.